Subscription services. Subscription services are all the rage right now, and everything points towards that being the continuing trend for the foreseeable future. Now, whilst video and music streaming are primarily the most prolific services, gaming seems to be getting into the thick of it all as well. Now, there are services like PlayStation Now, which the less we talk about, the better, let's be honest. And also the upcoming Google Stadia, which is still a bit of a question mark at this point. But both of these are streaming services. If you think about it in the South African context, we simply do not have the bandwidth in order to make this a viable option. For 720p gaming on the Google Stadia, you're going to need a recommended 15 megabits per second line. But if you want to jump it up to 4K, you need a minimum of 35 megabits per second, which is just absurd. Even for 720p gaming, you're going to be burning through 4.5 gigs of data every hour, which is just insane. So what we're going to do is look at services that actually let you download titles, focusing on, as if the title wasn't enough of a giveaway, the Xbox Game Pass. Now, there are other services. There's EA Access on Xbox and also Origin Access on PC. And for 350 Rand a year, considering all the titles you get, it's kind of a no-brainer, unless your EA hatred scale goes all the way up to just fucking ridiculous and irrational. I don't know, just relax, bro. Also, Ubisoft has just announced their own service, Uplay Plus, but considering that it's going to come in at about $15 per month, which translates to roughly $200, and also considering their lackluster E3 announcements, it doesn't really seem like a very value money and that's not what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really seem like a what did you say? Now, it does include new releases and DLC, which I guess is cool, but at 200 Rand a month, it still doesn't seem like there's great value with that subscription over there. And that's where Xbox Game Pass comes in. For starters, those of you who don't know what Game Pass is, it gives you access to over 100 games, ranging from little indie titles all the way up to AAA blockbusters. Lord, that sounded like an ad. Hashtag not sponsored, swear to God. There are 3 versions of the Game Pass. There's Xbox Game Pass, there's Xbox Game Pass for PC, and there's Xbox... How many times do I have to say Xbox? Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, the first 2 are alliterative, the former being for Xbox and the latter being for PC, and we'll get into the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in just a little bit. However, as with all things, content is king. That's why Netflix rules the video world, that's why Spotify's monarchy has remained unchallenged, and that's why I was trying to think up of a third statement to kind of add like a little comedy comes in 3 things to end it off, but I couldn't think of another comparison, so Sorry. So the question is really, does the content justify the price of admission? Like if someone was charging you like 300 Rand to go watch Twilight, you'd be like, it's Twilight. Why are you charging me so much? I don't really get it. I don't understand. Well, the answer is yes, with a bit of a caveat. The caveat being that yes, it is worth it if you own an Xbox. In fact, Game Pass Ultimate, which contains both the PC and Xbox versions of Game Pass, as well as Xbox Live Gold, for only slightly more expensive than both of those things cost individually, is really, really good value. Game Pass for PC is really just icing on the cake if you happen to own a gaming PC as well. I mean, just look at all these titles that you get for $200 a month. That's crazy. It's not just like small games as well. There's big titles in there like the Monster Chief Hunter Collector. It's like something.
What did you just say?
What is it? It's not small titles as well. There's also like big AAA ones. They like Monster Hunter World, Forza Horizon 4, that thing Exodus something, and then the Master Chief Collection. That was right. Like, those are big games. Everyone knows them except me, apparently. So you get all of those games for 199 Rand a month, which is already more than what you get with Ubisoft's service. But you also get access to 3 different services for the price of 1. And considering each of those services cost roughly the same individually, that is an insane deal. Now, why do I say it's worth it if you own an Xbox? Well, the PC offerings are just too limited at this point, even as a standalone service. Just compare what you get on the PC Game Pass as opposed to the Xbox Game Pass. Also, the Xbox app on Windows 10 is janky as all hell, and initially people had thought that the 109 releases weren't available locally, but apparently, according to Critical Hit, all you had to do was search for them and they would show up, but still evidence as to just how janky it is. All of this may change in the future though, with titles like the Master Chief's Collection being added, as well as any future upcoming first-party releases. Also consider that out of the 60 E3 games announced, 34 of those are going to be included in Game Pass Ultimate, so that's pretty dank. So it's not just first-party devs that are buying in or being brought in, it's third-party devs as well. Bethesda, 4A Games, Capcom are all taking this pretty damn seriously. And there is probably a good reason for this. Now, whilst Microsoft has pretty mummed the word with regards to their numbers, they have kind of illuminated the fact that since the release of Game Pass Ultimate alongside the Xbox One X, their revenue sales have increased by 95% in 2018. So some serious numbers to kind of take note of here. Now, Microsoft's approach to this generation is a topic for an entirely different video. We won't get into that now. But considering that the Game Pass is still in its infancy and is as good as it currently is, I think it can really only get bigger and better and more valuable if you own an Xbox. Even better if you own an Xbox and a PC. And if you're just PC, well, I don't know, just reevaluate in like 6 months, see what happens. There's no telling. Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this little piece that we did on subscription services. Let me know in the comment section below what your experience with subscription services is. If you're on that Origin Access thing where you get all the PC games, if you're on Xbox, whatever. I want to know what your experience with it is. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Maybe hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Otherwise, give me a thumbs down and I'll just hate you quietly when I go to sleep at night. Regardless, I'll catch you guys next time for another installment of Reality Check. Peace!